I keep thinking about the sheer panic that washed over me when the dots finally connected in my brain. You know that feeling when a puzzle piece snaps into place, but instead of a pretty picture, it reveals an absolute nightmare? That is exactly where I am at right now. Let's talk about Z and that secret lockbox. The moment I saw Z showing that intense, calculated interest in Jack Brennan's hidden stash, my stomach completely dropped. I mean, that changed everything. We all know that a man like Brennan doesn't just keep a lockbox for sentimental value. That box is his insurance policy, his leverage, his lifeblood. And the fact that Z is suddenly zeroing in on it, it means someone talked. And let's be real, guys, who else could it be but Valentin Cassadine? The realization that Valentin likely handed Z the keys to Brennan's destruction on a silver platter is just staggering. I am still trying to wrap my head around the sheer betrayal of it all and the deadly consequences that are about to follow. This hits so incredibly hard because of the deep, complicated history between these characters. We have watched Valentin navigate the darkest corners of the WSB for years, always playing the long game, always calculating his next move to protect himself and his family. For him to potentially weaponize Brennan's deepest secrets by tipping off Z, it's a game changer of epic proportions. I can't help feeling that Valentin has just unleashed a monster he cannot control. We know what kind of explosive, career-ending, life-destroying evidence must be sitting in that box. If Z gets his hands on it, Brennan is finished. Not just fired, not just disgraced, but utterly annihilated. And watching this unfold, knowing the stakes, is absolute agony. What makes this even more agonizing to watch is Brennan's current physical state. He is recovering. He is physically vulnerable. We are so used to seeing Jack Brennan as the untouchable mastermind, the guy who is always 3 steps ahead of everyone else in the room. Seeing him potentially cornered while he is still trying to regain his strength shatters every expectation I had for his character arc. I expected him to rise from the ashes and immediately take control, but instead, he is a sitting duck. The anxiety I feel for him right now is off the charts. It is a completely different kind of tension. Watching an apex predator become the prey while he is trapped in a hospital bed, completely aware that his empire is on the verge of collapse. Now, I have to admit, I love this storyline. I absolutely love the high stakes cloak and dagger espionage drama that the WSB brings to the table. It is thrilling, it is unpredictable, and it gives these brilliant actors so much incredible material to sink their teeth into. Watching the psychological warfare between men like Z, Brennan, and Valentin is exactly why I tune in every single day. The layers of deception, the secret alliances, the backstabbing it is soap opera perfection. I love how the writers are weaving this intricate web of lies that could snap at any given second, keeping us constantly on the edge of our seats. But something still bothers me, guys. It really does. As much as I am obsessed with this plot, I am incredibly frustrated by the idea of Brennan being taken down while he is incapacitated. It almost feels like a cheap shot. I want to see these titans clash at full strength. I want to see Brennan operating at 100%, using his brilliant, twisted mind to outmaneuver Z in a fair fight. Watching him potentially lose his entire empire because he is stuck recovering just rubs me the wrong way. It makes me want to reach through the screen and shake him awake, screaming at him to get up and fight back before Z completely dismantles his life and exposes all of his darkest secrets to the world. And that brings me to my judgment of what Brennan has to do next. I understand why he might be focused on just surviving and healing right now, but I still think that playing defense is a massive mistake. Brennan is not the kind of man who can afford to wait. Once he is mobile, his absolute first priority cannot be thanking the people who saved him or quietly slipping into the shadows to lick his wounds. No. If you ask me, he needs to go straight for the jugular. He needs to stop Z from opening that box by any means necessary. I am judging him preemptively here because if he hesitates for even a fraction of a second, he is a dead man. Maybe I'm being unfair, but I genuinely believe Brennan needs to take the ultimate lethal step. He shouldn't just try to steal the box back or hide the evidence. He needs to eliminate Z entirely. I know. I know. That sounds extreme. But think about the brutal world these men operate in. It is strictly kill or be killed. If Brennan takes out Z, he doesn't just neutralize the immediate threat to his secrets. He creates a massive power vacuum at the very top of the WSB. And who better to fill that void than Jack Brennan himself? It is a ruthless, cold-blooded move. And I am sitting here practically begging him to make it because it is the only way he survives this ordeal. This is where my internal conflict really starts tearing me apart. Part of me wants to believe that Z is actually doing the right thing. Z is the head of the WSB, trying to clean up the terrible mess left behind, trying to expose the deep-rooted corruption that Brennan represents. A piece of my soul wants to root for the supposed good guy trying to bring down the corrupt, manipulative agent. It would be a satisfying victory for justice. I mean, Brennan has done terrible things. He has ruined lives. He deserves to face the harsh consequences of the horrifying secrets locked away in that box. But another part of me, guys, another part of me desperately wants Brennan to win. I honestly can't decide how I want this to end. There is something so incredibly captivating about Jack Brennan's dark charisma and sheer brilliance. The idea of him assassinating Z, sweeping his own crimes under the rug, and ascending to the throne as the undisputed new head of the WSB, that is the kind of villainous triumph that makes for legendary television. I am completely torn between wanting justice to prevail and wanting to watch a brilliant mastermind pull off the ultimate bloody coup. It is a moral dilemma that is driving me absolutely crazy every time these men share a scene. And if Brennan actually pulls it off, if he kills Z and takes over the WSB, my heart immediately stops for Valentin Cassadine. I keep thinking about what happens to Valentin in that terrifying scenario. If Valentin is the one who leaked the existence of the lockbox to Z, he just painted a massive glowing target on his own back. Brennan is not a man who forgives, and he certainly does not forget. Once Brennan has the ultimate power of the WSB at his fingertips, silencing the man who tried to expose him will be child's play. Valentin will be a dead man walking, hunted by the very agency he once served. The tragic irony of it all is just too much to handle. Valentin went to Z to expose Ross Cullum, to do the right thing, to clear his name and protect the people he cares about. But in doing so, he might have inadvertently handed Jack Brennan the exact motivation he needs to become the most dangerous man on the planet. I am watching Valentin celebrate his impending freedom, completely unaware that a much darker, much more lethal storm is brewing right behind him. It is absolutely heartbreaking. I want to scream at Valentin to run, to hide, to take his loved ones and disappear before Brennan comes for him with the full force of the WSB. Let's really dig into what that lockbox represents for a man like Jack Brennan. For years, he has operated in the shadows, manipulating governments, orchestrating global events, and carefully curating an image of untouchable power. That box isn't just a collection of paper files. It is his ego, his legacy, and his ultimate vulnerability all wrapped into one. The very thought that another man, especially someone as self-righteous as Z, could be holding the keys to his destruction must be eating Brennan alive from the inside out. I can practically feel the venom coursing through his veins as he lies there, pretending to be a helpless, recovering patient, while his brilliant mind calculates 1,000 different ways to murder his enemies. It is a terrifying testament to his character that his physical weakness only amplifies his psychological menace. And what about the WSB as an organization? If Brennan actually succeeds in taking out Z, the entire agency becomes his personal playground. We have always known the WSB to be morally gray, a place where the ends justify the means. But under Brennan's absolute rule, it would become an unstoppable syndicate of corruption. The sheer scale of the danger is what has me so captivated and so terrified all at once. I am watching the potential birth of a supervillain who has the resources of a global intelligence agency at his beck and call. How is anyone in Port Charles supposed to survive that? How is Valentin supposed to protect his family when the man hunting him controls the very organization meant to maintain global security? The emotional roller coaster of this storyline is just relentless. Every single time I think I have a grasp on the hierarchy of power, the writers pulled the rug out for me. The thought of Brennan sitting in that hospital bed, slowly regaining his strength, plotting a hostile takeover of the WSB, while Z unknowingly holds a ticking time bomb in the form of that lockbox. It is cinematic gold. I am so deeply invested in the survival of all these characters. Yet I know they cannot all make it out of this alive. The collision is inevitable, and the fallout is going to be devastating for everyone involved. Am I the only one feeling this way? Seriously, guys, what do you think? Am I completely overthinking Brennan's ruthless ambition, or do you also see this explosive power grab coming from a mile away? Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel it in my bones that Z's days are numbered, and Valentin is stating right in the crosshairs of a very angry, very powerful man. I need to know if you guys are as stressed out about this as I am. Drop your thoughts, your feelings, and your absolute wildest theories down below, because I cannot process this impending WSB bloodbath all by myself.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.